Alrighty, and here we go again, I suppose. Here, let me bop on. Yeah, there we go. There's the horn, and now we're ready to stream. You can't draft without the right musical accompaniment, otherwise you're setting yourself up for failure right from the start. All right, so we're going right back into Zendikar. Let's hop in and find ourselves a table to draft at. Thus far, we have profited from the format, both in terms of the joy of drafting it. It's made for wonderful games of Magic the Gathering, for the most part. A couple ruined crabs in there. But for the most part, it's been wonderful. And we've also profited in gems. So we've been mining. A miner's life for us. But let's see if they can find some schmucks that we can filch for wins. I know it's impossible for Magic to do so, but it would be really cool to have in-pod play someday. Because it is really quite different when you're playing against the people in the same pod. In the sense that for those of you who haven't drafted paper Magic before, so the idea is a pod is the 8 people you draft with. And on most online drafting platforms, you play with people outside your pod, right? So I could play with someone who wasn't sitting at the same virtual table when we drafted our decks. And that has a very large impact on the game because if you have a high power pod, let's say the packs your pod opened were above average, then you are going to have an above average deck because you got to look at and see more powerful cards. But if you have a low power pod where you don't open, some of the broken uncommons, or maybe there's a lower density of those uncommons, or just the way archetypes fall, people's decks end up being more diluted. If you have a low power pod going up against a higher power pod in ranked, for example, you're going to be at a marginal disadvantage there. Right. Okay, so here's our first pack. We've got the Kazandu Mammoth, which is a very excellent pick. These modal cards are quite phenomenal, and I think it's just an easy Mammoth here, our Tusky friend. The only competition, the Jerboa is a card that doesn't make you want to be in an aggressive white deck, but it's an excellent card once you're already there. Relic Vial is a phenomenal card for Black-White Clerics, but Black-White Clerics is incredibly popular, so it's a deck that is rarely open. Black has been pretty overdrafted the last several evenings. So I think Mammoth it is. The Vial is probably better than the Mammoth, all things told, but the Mammoth is much safer, where we're going to be guaranteed to get some value out of this guy. And we get to hear the trunk. Now we'll see. Who are we up against? Any names I recognize? Probably not. Oh, Exalted Angel we're passing to. Well, I hope I don't offend the gods. Coveted Prize is not pickable. That's basically a non-card. Veteran Adventurer is quite good. Super happy to pick up a Veteran Adventurer. Nothing else in this pack that's calling to me. The Shadow Stinger is quite excellent as well, but again, black tends to be a little overdrafted. Green is fine. I don't love playing green just as a Magic player in general, but the Veteran Adventurer is definitely the most powerful pick in this pack after the Shadow Stinger, perhaps. Not many other choices to be made, so it looks like we're getting into green. Not there just yet. One of the great things about these dual-faced modal cards is that because basically splashing these cards is much, much easier than splashing a spell, because the worst case scenario for this is it's a land that taps for 1 colorless if it's a land you are splashing, right? The green is basically colorless if it's your only green card. But sometimes if you've drawn your splash lands, or even better, if you just have like 2 of these modal cards that are green, that are great, then it's basically freemium. Valakut's Awakening is a modal card, which makes it quite phenomenal. The floor is very low. Bugcatcher is actually an excellent aggressive card. I really like the Bugcatcher. Rockslide Sorcerer is very good, but only in the wizard stack. So this pack is between Valakut Awakening and the Bugcatcher are the 2 reasonable cards here. And I think I like Awakening a little bit more. I've had a couple chances to play with it, and it actually has satisfied as a card. So I think we take the Awakening. I really like Gruul Landfall. Is a hilarious beatdown deck. And we just got one of the best cards in the set for it, the Roiling Regrowth. Now, when a lot of people look at this card, they think, oh, it helps you fix your mana. But no, this card isn't about fixing mana. This card is about getting 2 landfall triggers after you've already gotten your first landfall trigger for the turn, right? You're getting 3 landfall triggers. So you are just going to annihilate your opponent with those brushfall elementals. So super happy to pick up the Roiling Regrowth. Scythe Cat is a pretty good one if we're in Gruul landfall. We get another chance at the Bug Catcher, and we have a Spark Mage. Spark Mage is a good party payoff. It's no Flame Tongue Kavu, let me tell you that, but it is a decent card. So the question is, do we want the Spark Mage to interact with our opponent a little more, or the Scythe Cat, which is a better linear card? It's also the consideration we don't have a 2-drop yet, and if we're red-green landfall, we definitely want a 2-drop to apply pressure to the opponent's life total. So I think we start with the Spark Mage. Spark Mage has such a high ceiling, and when it's a 2-for-1, it's quite good. I think it's a little bit better than Bug Catcher and Scythe Cat, but it is quite close. May come back to haunt us. Alrighty, so we could take a super mediocre 1-4 reach to hold down the skies against potential flyers. I'm not super excited by that. We're looking to murder our opponent. The Zendikar is fine. It's excellent if you're getting back a modal card that you put this on and then it dies and then the modal card bounces back to your hand. But if it's not going on a modal card, it's kind of mediocre. It's like a 4-4 that sometimes has haste, if you're willing to pay 5 mana for it, essentially. I think we'll take the Zendikar. Zoth Consumption is a consideration, but it's double black to cast, so you really can't splash this card. All right, what do we got here? The game just keeps pushing these bug catchers on us. It really wants us to lasso up some insects. This might be the time to take the Bug Catcher. Bug Catcher is much better than Nectar Pot because it would seem we want to assemble a party and it would seem we want to apply pressure. The Territorial Scythe Cat is a consideration as well. We might wheel another one of those. There were 2 others going around, so we might wheel one, to be honest. It seems like a lot of people's esteem for this card has gone down pretty dramatically. The Bug Catcher. Yeah, I think we take Bug Catcher here because we have party payoffs. So it is better for our creatures to have jobs. Basically, you want them to have some jobs. The Hellhound is a fine card for an aggressive deck. No complaints there. This is a rogue, which makes it more playable. The Tajuru Brightblade would be unplayable if it were not a rogue, but being a rogue has its benefits. None of these cards matter. I suppose we take the Anticog. I suppose we take the Oblivion's Hunger, but it doesn't really matter. Nectar Pot, sure, but we're never really going to be beating down. So maybe, yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, Broken Wings. I adore a Broken Wings. I'm actually super happy to main deck this card. Mediocre Reach Creature. I guess it's mediocre Reach Creature over Cantrip that won't make our deck. Yeah. Oh, the Hagra Mauling. Oh, that's a good one. Damn. Oh, I want to Hagra Maul people, but that's not for us. That's not what we're set up to take advantage of. All right, so we have the Gomafada Vanguard versus the Geopede. The Geopede is much better for our deck, so we're going to take it. I really want this Vanguard, but Geopede is just such a monstrosity when you've got stuff like the Roiling Regrowth, and we're pretty likely to get the 1 in a red card that annihilates one of your lands and puts a new one into play. Whatever it's called, Reborn in Ashes or something, but we're likely to get those, which is also a Wombo combo with the Geopede. So get in there, bug. See, we got the Bug Catcher and we got the big old bug. This deck is lore accurate. You got to draft according to the lore. Yeah, and our pod. See, whenever we have a little downtime, when people are taking a while, we get to talk about who's in our pod with us. We have Exalted Angel. Got Fruppy over here. We got Zero Cardinality. I think that's a pun, given this is an account for a card game. We got Flat Earth, which fair. It is. He's just spitting straight truth over on the top there. All right, what do we got? Inscription of Ruin. Wow. This pack is full of some awesome cards, and none of them are for me. None of them. Not a one. I guess we take this stupid Stomper. I guess we take the stupid Rapid Bite. Vision, no. All these presents for people that aren't me. It makes me so envious. No, Rapid Bite's a fine pickup here. Rapid Bite is perfectly acceptable. Oh, and we get the ambush. We get the Ambush. No, oh, now this pack has wonderful cards for us, though. Oh, we're going to wheel this Cleansing Wildfire. Mark it. We're wheeling it. This Cleansing Wildfire has my name written on the back of the card, which is going to get us disqualified by the judge. Oh, this Jiraga Visionary is also wonderful, but the Ambush is just so valuable as a modal card that is also removal in a lot of scenarios. Yeah, Kazandu Stomper is also fine, but we're going to wheel this Cleansing Wildfire and be pretty happy about it, I suspect. Ooh. The Florahedron is another excellent one for us, so super happy to get this Florahedron. No other consideration, so we just snap off the Florahedron. Let's do it. Oops. Let's move our modal cards over to the side here to give ourselves a little bit of a better idea what we're working with. Here we have a mediocre Scorch Rider, a more mediocre Marasa Brute, and the Might of Marasa. I don't really want to play any of these cards. I suppose Might of Marasa is fine. It's basically fine. It's a good way to kill your opponent by surprise in the late game, and it pairs well with our Trampler here. Also pairs quite well with the Brushfire Elemental if we can find one. But yeah, we'll take a Might of Marasa for the time being. There's a Scythe Cat for us, which isn't bad. Oh, Spoils of Adventure. If Exalted Angel... Oh no, Exalted Angel passed that. I guess there's 2 more people that get to see it. Or no, 1 more person that gets to see it. Wow. Someone's going to be extremely happy about that card. Not I, however. I will pick a Scythe Cat and be pretty medium about the whole experience. We could take the Ardent Electromancer to put a wizard in our deck, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to be landfall than it is to be odds we wheel the Scythe Cat. Basically 0, right? We're wheeling the stupid Tuk Tuk Rubble for it, but we're definitely taking this Balagad Recovery and feeling pretty good about it. We're gonna get the Tuk Tuk Rubble for it, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Hey, baby! Here comes the money. Yes! Yes! Brushfire Elemental. You love to see it. You love to see your boy coming in hot and spicy. This was in the pack we opened, wasn't it? Did I not see this card? How did that card sneak into pack 8? Oh, wait. Never mind. That was... Oh, okay. That was in Soul Reaver's pack. All right, this is the pack we opened. I was about to say, like, was I blind to the Brushfire brilliance? But I was not. Oh, we just got a random card there. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We weren't gonna play any of them anyway. I was too busy celebrating. All right, could I get one more Brushfire Elemental though? Like one more? Come on now. If you're not going Akoum Hellhound, Brushfire Boy, oh, there's that Cleansing Wildfire. I wrote my name on it. Remember? Wrote my name on it. We're taking it over the Stomper because I've been incredibly impressed with this card, with its ability to just annihilate opponents if you have an aggressive start. The Stomper is also quite excellent, but we don't have any card draw, so playing a 6-drop, I'm kind of medium on 6-drops, other than Zveteran Boy, but he's usually a 5-drop. And he's a pretty thick one, truth be told. Oh, Umara Mystic, you didn't find a home? Come on, get in there. Get in that sideboard. Welcome home. Ooh, are we getting wayward? Are we wandering off the beaten path with this guide beast? Oh, take me on a journey, little guide beast. Show me the way. No, it's probably just a Canopy Baloth, if I'm being honest. There's also the Veteran Adventurer, if we want more veterans on the squad, but I think the Baloth is the place we want to be here. Maybe we wheel the Wayward Guide Beast. Wouldn't that be a treat? I still don't even know if we play it if we wheel it. This card is so bizarre in that, yeah, we're in the landfall deck, the Gruul landfall decks. You'd think we might want it, but it's still pretty awful. It's still majorly suspect. So Baloth it is. Baloth is a fine card. Song Mad Treachery, you say? Well, treachery of the highest order. We have so many spell modal cards. It's absolutely wild. I'm going to write my name on this Hellhound, but also sign my initials on this Baloth, so hopefully nobody takes them from us. But treachery is quite nice here. Treachery is one of those cards where it's like, when the opponent's thinking, how do I die from here? Like, can they kill me? They've only got one card. Song My Treachery is a good one to just kill them out of nowhere. This is an interesting choice between the Stomper and the Ascetic. I think I actually want the Stomper because I have so many modal cards to pick back up. Stomper seems like it's at its very best in our deck. I know I was talking smack on the Stomper. Oh no, this pack is so good. No. Oh, this is a disaster. I just want this pack. If we could just take this pack and call it a draft, I'd be so happy. But that's not the world we live in here. I think it's the Roiling Rebirth, to be honest. But I'm not happy. I really want this Rabid Bite. I really want this Pyroclastic Hellion. But it's just going to be the Rebirth, I suspect. It's just going... Oh, the Geopede! Man, we are either going to burn brightly or burn out. This deck is going to go so fast. This is an aggro deck that I like, because this is more of like a cool aggro deck where you're doing something interesting. All right, Geopede, take me to church. I'll like it down and swallow your lie. All right, I think we're taking the Fissure Wizard here, because he makes the Veteran Adventurer a little bit better, gives us another party member, gives us that Wizard. Branch Loft Pathway is a consideration just for your rare collection, but I think the Fissure Wizard is the correct choice. And we're running low on playables, actually. We need to find more cards. Oh, Gnarlid Colony. Woo! Please and thank you. Yes!
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Brushfire Elemental number 2, numero dos. The art. Welcome to the squad. Welcome, Brushfire boy. Oh, nobody touching that Veteran Adventurer. I will snap it up. There's my Hellhound. Now here we reach a strange juncture. So do I take the Stomper, which pretty much is always going to read draw a card in this deck? Or do I take the Hellhound, which is more aggressive? I think I take the Hellhound. I think we're set up to be really aggressive, and I don't want to shake that. I do think the Ascetic is probably better than the Electromancer, though. Like the but we do have 2 Adventurers. No, it's probably better than the Ascetic in our aggressive slanted deck. Oh, we wheel the Hellion. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's get in there. All right. This deck is awesome. I don't know if it's good, but man, is it awesome. Alrighty. Well, how many modal cards do we have? So we have 1, 2, let's get a little 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 modal cards. Am I missing a 1? I think that'll do. Oh, I am missing the Mammoth. So 7 modal cards. So we can bop out 4 forests, go down to 5, and we can bop out 2 mountains, go to 6. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. It is going to be a little hard to always hit our Brushfire Elemental in stride, but I think we'll be fine. We'll have it most games if we have the Brushfire Elemental in our starting hand. I think the Blightblade is an easy cut here. It's not aggressive enough. Otherwise, what else do we not need? Scale the Heights is a little bit slow. Sometimes it functions like the Cleansing Wildfire. That's an interesting one. I'm just not sure about the Scale the Heights. We may be dropping the Electromancer. It may be too cute. I think we definitely drop a Veteran Adventurer. It's actually possible that we're supposed to just lose the creatures with professions and all in on the landfall. Because most of the good landfall creatures, like the Geopede, the Brushfire, the Doge, none of these creatures are professioned. So maybe we lose the party theme. And yeah, maybe I just take... I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess I'm dropping the party theme, which means Thundering Spark Mage also probably goes. That's too much, isn't it? That's a bridge too far. How often is this good if X equals 1? Basically never, right? And at this point, the Electromancer is much, much worse. Yeah, I'm not loving what we got going on in that sense. Perhaps... Oh, man. No, this card isn't good enough. I suppose we're going to do Vet. Got the Stomper, got the Vet. Hellion. Huh. We'll put back in 1 Veteran Adventurer because the odds are with double Roiling Regrowth, we'll probably hit our land drops pretty well. I think Scale the Heights is actually playable in this deck. I think the Spark Mage has to go, though. I think X will equal to very, very rarely, at which point the card is not playable. All right, this seems pretty reasonable. Let's see if these modal cards can power us through to 3,000 gems in our pocket, or if we'll fizzle out. We'll see if we make landfall here. I believe. All right, up against Olbrog for the first round. Rockin' the Vivian Avatar, rockin' the Beast by her side. This hand is unplayable, obviously. This hand is also really bad, but we're going to keep it. Bottom of Mountain. This hand is so sad, but, you know. I don't want to go down to 5 cards in limited. Opponent goes down to 5 cards, though. Opponent has no fear, which I deeply respect. We're going to play the ball against Sanctuary. We have 2 ways to pick it back up in the late game, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, I don't see any reason to reveal our second color. Not that it particularly matters. Yeah, we're off to an insanely slow start here. All right, well, that's a Geopede. We'll see if the opponent is brave enough to attack into us. I'll be a little surprised if they are. The thing that's really going to kill us here is if they have the... Oh, Mind Carver. Sure. Doesn't matter. Sure, you got it. Do you think opponent knows how much damage they're about to take? I don't think they do. I think they're going to be mildly surprised. FGR! Yo! Good evening. How are you? Now the question is, do we die on the backswing? I don't think we do. I think we're fine to just royal. Double royal and bubble our opponent here. So, whoosh, burn the forest. Put 2 more into play. Boom! Take 9. You got a new job? Well, congratulations. Well, I assume congratulations. Hopefully your new job is a step up. Ladder. Opponent plays Blood Price? Are they mad? Are they insane? They attack? Oh, they're just dead. Opponent doesn't know. Oh no, we're gonna royal them into the grave. Opponent, what are you doing? And they're out of there. Yes. Oh no! What were they thinking? They didn't realize who was the aggro there. But gotcha. Good to hear that you're at home. La 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 la. Are you excited about the new job? Yeah, get Carillion putting up the F for the opponent there. That was not the best showing by them. This hand is also quite slow, but we'll take it. It's got a lot of playable cards. Oh, did I say slow? I meant this hand is rip-roaring fast. Got our Hound on turn 1. Ha! Nipping at their heels. Ooh. Ooh, even got a little Florahedron on turn 2. We take those. All right, get out there. Whoop. Oh no. Are we getting Jizwari Disrupt? We're getting Jwari Disrupted! No! Got me, opponent. Got me. You are satisfied. Well, satisfied is a decent word. It's not a bad one. Alrighty. So, I guess this turn we're just eating their Stalker with the Might of Marasa. So here, we want to play the Mammoth next turn. So we'll play this. Now, I could play the Scythe Cat, though. I think the money is good, work is monotonous. I see. Do I want to play the Scythe Cat or do I want to play... All right, here's what we do. Bump the Hound, right? We send the Hound. Does opponent block? Come on, be a coward, opponent. Show me your cowardice. You don't dare block the Hound. Oh yeah, oh, they don't block! Playing them for a gosh darn fool. Although, oh, getting PM'd. La 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 la. Sorry, Aston. All right, opponent vanquishes our weak Scythe Cat, puts it in the grave. Bops us with the Stalker. Oh, and if you couldn't tell, I did not approve of the opponent not blocking last turn. I think, so what the opponent was thinking is I kept up my mana, so the opponent would think I have a combat trick, and I attack in with the Hound. Now, I don't want to play the combat trick, because if I do, that's all my mana for the turn, and I don't deploy an additional threat to exponentially increase the pressure, right? The more creatures I develop, over many turns, that's going to be much, much more damage as I spread out across the board. So I don't want to play the combat trick, but opponent was scared I would play a combat trick and eat their creature when they actually shouldn't have minded that, right? Like, why play this 2/3 if you're too scared to block with it? You may as well not have played it if you're just going to be scared of combat tricks. I think here... Huh. All right, well, first we'll play this out as a land. We'll hit with the Hound. And then we'll play the Geopede. I'm a little scared of the subtle strike on my opponent's behalf. They don't seem like a super subtle individual, but you never know. All right, we'll play the Geopede, though. We're going to have to get through that subtle strike eventually anyway. So if they have it, may as well make them have it. Oh, Ruin Crab! Oh, no! No, don't ruin me. You monster. Oh, and a sure-footed infiltrator. Yoips. Alrighty, so this turn is an interesting one. I definitely want to make my land drop, and I probably want to play the Colony Ambush, but that means playing the Mammoth as a land? Not like this. We're also unable to Might of Marasa and Colony Ambush. So if we Colony Ambush and attack with the Geopede... Huh. Okay, so I think what we do is we deploy the Mammoth. Boo! Deploy the Mammoth, swing our trunk around. Flailing it. And then we attack and see what opponent does, see what blocks they offer up. There's basically no blocks I'm very frightened of. So we'll just send the lads and see what opponent has to say about it. I'm not too scared of dying to this Ruin Crab, so that's not a real concern here. Interesting. Okay, so opponent chooses Cowardice here, which sure works for me. So we'll go to damage first. Bop, bop. And then we will Colony Ambush their Infiltrator so that they can't draw cards off of it. Bah! Give them the old green beat down. Like, look at this poor goblin. This goblin never had a chance. That's a Scythe Cat. He's got literal scythes growing off his knuckles. The man cannot be stopped. Into the royal, you say. The royal. Now here's where things get a little tricky. We don't have a land drop to make. We can Nissa Zendikar the Khazandu Valley to get back our Mammoth, which does seem to be the play. The alternative is doing the Sanctuary, but I don't think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I think for now we just crash with the Zendikar to get back our Mammoth and probably kill their Expedition Stalker, I imagine. We also may just want to attack with the Geopede here too to just clear all of their creatures out. Seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'm quite fine with this arrangement. All right, bop, bop. We get back the Mammoth. And we will keep it in hand for the time being. I'm a little sad because the opponents slowed us down enough that they're basically going to get 2 draws to try and, find some steam here. Try and get themselves going. And that Ruin Crab isn't a huge problem, but eventually it'll be pretty frustrating. Opponent picks back up their Surefoot Infiltrator with the Blood Beckoning. That is a play. That was certainly a legal game action my opponent just took. I don't know if it's the one I would have taken, but... Here we may just want to play the Mammoth as a land and then attack with the Hound and get him with the Might of Marasa if we can. I don't want to play the combat trick because the thing here is they can block with the stupid Crab. And I don't want to trade Might of Marasa plus Landfall Trigger for Crab. I really want to deploy this Geopede. We'll see what opponent does here on the blocks. They're probably blocking with the stupid Crab. If they block with the Infiltrator, I'll probably Might of Marasa. Okay. They did not. Pop. All right, we will deploy our Geopede and see what happens on the next turn. This game's gotten dragged out a little bit. Opponent has slowed us down considerably. But we are... Oop, all right. I understand, opponent. Good day. I understand. Yeah, this is where things get pretty bad for us in our extremely removal light deck. All right. Draw a card. It is a land, which isn't the worst thing. Play the land. Attack you. They block with the crab again. I think we just kill the crab, to be honest. I think the time to be coy is over. So let's just murder the stupid crab, which was stonewalling us. Stonewall Jackson, that crab over there. Look at this man. 0-3? He's impenetrable. We'll see what the opponent has to say here. I'm probably fine with them hitting me, to be honest. I really need to kill them, so I'm fine with them hitting me and drawing a card. Last time attacking with the Infiltrator was their suicidal play, so we'll see if they have chosen death once again. Kazendu's Stomper is a good card. It is certainly a card. All right, yeah, I'll take that. Draw 2. 6/5 Trampler, draw 2 cards. Yes, please. Why not? Why not? And then we could attack in with the Geopede here. Do I play? I may just play the recovery here. I don't think we're going to have time to actually cast the recovery. So we're going to play the recovery and send the Geopede. For sure. And another question is, do I send the Hound? The Hound will be devoured by the Skitter Sneak. But how about some Mythgard? Ejecti, I would never. Mythgard? Come on. That's a child's card game. Although I do like Harmony. Harmony is a hell of a faction. No Harmony in Magic the Gathering. Just despair. Do we attack with the Hound? The Skitter Sneak eats it, but then the Geopede domes them for 5. They go to 4. And we have 2 Tramplers on board. Do we attack with the Hound? Do I think my opponent will No, I think we just attack with the Centipede. I think it'd be madness to do otherwise. Also, watch opponent be bold and just take it. Oh, no! Oh, we've been had. Yeah, that's the worst of all possible worlds. Yipes. No. We got Zulaport Duelist. Oh, no. All right. No attacks, you say. Deal. Let's scale the heights, making our Stomper a little thicker. See what we draw. Whew. So we can double land drop here to make our Hound a 4/5. If we attack with a 4/5 and a 7/6, what do they do besides weep? They put Skitter Sneak Zulaport on this, chump with the 2/3. Alternatively, they go sacrifice these 2 to stop the Stomper, take 4, go to 5. And then I've just got the Mammoth in hand, plus a land. Well, no lands in that case. Do I want to trade this for these 2? Probably. Probably. Because I'll still have a Hound and a Mammoth when the dust settles. That seems fine. Oh, we can even cast the Mammoth this turn. Yay, this is a fine play. This is well and good. Opponent is getting priority, which means they have a trick of some sort, which you don't like to hear, but you attack nonetheless. We're not playing red and green to be cowards. All right, what's your trick? Play your last pathetic combat trick. Oh, the chump block? No. Okay, they're going for the Hound. I'm super, super happy to trade. Are they going to 2? Opponent's really deep in the tank here. They've got the blackboard up next to their desk. They're like, very quickly, they see the mathematical symbols scrolling in front of their screen. They're like, how do I block? How do I preserve my life? The answer, opponent, is you block 2, 3, and 4, 4 on the 7, 6. That is the correct answer. And you can block the Hound with, you can chump block if you want. They take 7? Are they mad? Do they not know there's a card called Royal Eruption in this format that just murders them now? I mean, I don't have one in my deck, but it's a common. Oh, opponent! Why did they chose death? They chose death before dishonor. Respect. Respect, opponent.
What can I say except you're
Welcome. Ba, 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 ba. And they're out of there. All right, Gruul Beatdown gets the first game. I don't think that opponent was entirely sure what they were doing. Ooh, Skirt of the Sky Claves. I don't think they really knew what was up. Maybe our next opponent will be a little more cogent. I've smoked a little bit less. Whew, I know what I'm saying. All right. And who shall it be? Lord Fano. La da 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 da. But no ejecti. I'll probably play some Mythgard soon. I'll boot it back up. Give Rhino a little bit more of my money. Man, this hand is really, really excellent if we draw a forest. And we're on the draw. We are 9 out of 33 to draw a forest. That's not great. We have to draw a forest by what? Turn 2, really? Turn 3 for this hand to be good? Do we live and die by drawing a forest here? Mountain is also a fine draw because it means we can Geopede. I think we keep. I think this is the hill we die on. So there's some like 30 to 40% of games here where we just die like this Akum Hellhound, like a dog, because we never draw a forest, but such is magic. You got to be willing to take those variant spreads. Sometimes, Blood Chief's Thirst the Hound? Deal. Deal, my man. All right. Fissure Wizard! Get him. All right, and let's throw away, they're on those. We'll throw away the Broken Wings. We draw another tribute. I would like your finest land, please. Your finest land off the top. Opponent in... What a mockery. What a piece of work is man. All right. Keep 2 lands on the draw. Oh, screw and die. Tale as old as time. Song as old as a rhyme. Magic and the screw. Not the flood. The flood is also a tale as old as time. Mythgard doesn't have land screw. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is a nice part of it. But Ejecti, doesn't that make for less variable gameplay? When you just always get to play the game? Who wants to always play the game? You don't want your opponent to sometimes just fall on their face and die without you having to do anything? Yeah, playing your cards. Come on. I like getting a free roll, 10, 20% of the time. Meta depending. So here, if we play the Ardent Electromancer, we get 2 red, which we can't really do anything with. I think we play the Geopedes, and we hope to cheese the opponent here with the Roiling Rebirth, which puts 2 lands into play. Yeah, I think we're going Geopede cheese is probably our way to win this game. We don't have many ways to win this game. The trouble is we're on a pretty fast clock here. Is the opponent dead next turn if we draw a land? Let me think. So if the... No, they're very narrowly not dead. Because let's say we draw a land. We go land, Roiling Regrowth. The Geopede becomes a 9/7. This is attacking for 3. It's only 12. That's not enough to murder them, which is unfortunate. What we could do... It also assumes the opponent doesn't play anything with their 5 mana and 2 cards. I think we have to just block. I don't think we get to be greedy here and try and cheese them just yet. If they take another hit from the Bug Catcher, we can probably do that. That is technically a land. Checks out. Checks out. All right. Now the opponent may open themselves up to cheese. I think they should block with the Raptor. They don't block with the Raptor. Opponent confirmed coward. Sign up with Cowards Anonymous. And now they are cheesable. So now if they attack with both of them and don't deploy an additional blocker, they die to the Roiling Regrowth, pumping this Geopede to... Oh, no! No! Don't take my Roiling Regrowth. Don't do it. Have a heart. Yes! They don't know. Oh, they don't know. They know nothing. Oh, come on. Play nothing and die. Play nothing and die. Come on. Just this once. Just for me. Are they gonna... Did we do it? Wait a minute. Brushfire Elemental. Oh no, I only have 1 green. Bugger. I can't Brushfire Elemental. Okay, still. Maybe. All right. Did you just not know, opponent, how these cards work? Did you not read them? Wait for it. Do you not? Are you...
What can I say except you're welcome?
Our opponents tonight are not of the highest quality, I must say. That was a bit of a gaffe on their part. When they looked at my hand and got to take a card, they should have a bajillion percent taken the Roiling Regrowth. Especially when they don't even have another creature to play, and they're just dead on board. Leaving yourself dead on board is rarely the optimal play. I would say that one usually goes into the blooper reel. All right, well, we'll just ship it. We'll just ship it. Oh, maybe I should have sideboarded out the card that destroys a flyer. They have flyers, but not ones I really care about destroying. Like the Hawk isn't such a existential threat for us. This hand's fine. This hand is quite fine. But look, Ejecti, they've come such a long way. Now Magic has cards that are both a spell on one side and a land on the other. See, they learned. They saw that Mythgard was just, killing them, putting them in the grave in terms of sales. And they were like, God damn. I wonder where they learned. They decided that maybe their card game, which was designed in 1994, needs, a little bit of a pick-me-up. Needs a little design revolution. Well, they killed our only creature, which makes me sad. I think it's going to be a long time before we want to play this Bolaged Sanctuary, so we're just going to play it there. Who knew? Richard Garfield had a PhD, Ejecti. How could he have been wrong? It's impossible. All right, Brushfire Elemental off the top of the deck is about the best thing we could have hoped for. So play our Brushy Boy, and then do we want to play one of our spell lands as a land? I don't think so. I think we want to play them as spells at this point. We have enough lands. You saw Artifact. Hey, Ejecti, I played a lot of Artifact, I'll have you know. I played a ton. I had a complete collection. Artifact was a great game. It was just a game that wasn't fun, but it was interesting. All right, this is a problem. Oh, this card is so frustrating for us. On the bright side, opponent can't really attack into us. The trouble here is if I use Broken Wings to destroy it, they get 4 1/1s. And their 1/1s can't block our Brushfire Elemental, but 4 1/1s? It's so gross. It's just disgusting. I suppose we just have to hold our ground. Or do I just kill it and not care about the 4 1/1s? That's so many. I put them on 4. No, I don't have a way to cheese them in hand. I think what we have to do is just be patient. So we can't attack here. I wish we could, but there's just no way we can. Bugger. All right, yeah, we just hold back. Myriad Construct, a pretty phenomenal rare. You're super fortunate whenever you get this in draft. Opponent's going to take a card out of our hand. Do we want to cast any of the cards before? I don't think so. I think we just let opponent take what they will. With arms wide open. Steal. If I were opponent, I would take Adventurer or Colony Ambush. I think these two are the only two reasonable picks. Maybe the Rabbit Bite. They take the Valakut Awakening. Opponent doesn't give a damn what I have to say. Opponent attacks, which is kind of bizarre. I guess they figure they ought to be the aggro here. And do I care? Probably not, to be honest. Opponent's tapped out. I guess before damage, we'll just kill their Pack Beast. I don't know why they're attacking, though. I think this is a pretty poor assessment on their part of who is the aggressor in this matchup. I think as long as this Myriad Construct is back to block, like they saw my hand, They know I can literally never get through this thing, so I appreciate them letting me get through it. I think we play the Colony Ambush and the Florahedron so we can play Veteran Adventurer next turn. It's a pity to play the Ambush as anything other than a spell, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Florahedron coming in here to give us a couple flowers. Although this thing is kind of haunting, right? Like, it's kind of sweet, and then it's touching the butterfly. But this is like a parasitic growth that has consumed a man, or woman, or child, or, you know, non-binary adventurer. Either way, pretty frightening. Opponent continuing to attack with the construct. Deal Root Grazer. Sure. Grakmaw. Oh no. Well, Grakmaw is actually a problem. We're just playing the Adventurer and praying they don't have removal, I think. I don't think we have an alternative here. We can't attack anymore because they got the Grakmaw. So, if they have removal, we lose. Otherwise, the Adventurer holds them back for a time. The interesting question is, what do we do if they attack? I think we have to block. Okay, so they don't attack, which is good for us. Here... Is this... What is the condition here? Becomes the target of a spell. Does Rabid Bite... Target creature you control deals damage to target creature you don't control. Yeah, that's targeted by a spell. Grr. So we can kill the stupid Root Grazer. But that's not really what we want to do. I think we want to set up a Baloth Cleansing Wildfire attack. So I think what we do is we deploy the Baloth, because at the moment they don't have a way to deal with our Adventurer. So we're at a stalemate. And then next turn we can break the stalemate by Cleansing Wildfire for a land, pump the Baloth, pump the Brushfire, Rabid Bite something, and then send everything. Math is for blockers, right? Oh no, Kazandu Stomper. Yeah! Gross. Gross. We get to rapidly bite it, but... Alright. Well, let's start with this, I think. Start with some Cleansing Wildfire, see what we draw. Or do we start with Scaling the Heights? Scaling the Heights might be reasonable. So if I scale the Heights, can I scale their squad? Put a +1/+1 counter on... No, I think we want Cleansing Wildfire, almost certainly. Almost certainly. Yes, I want to target my own mountain. Come on now, it's just a little wildfire. Never hurt nobody know how. With apologies to California. Never hurt nobody know how. Come on. Mountain, go! I choose you. Geopede. Oh, my oldest friend. All right, we shall rapidly bite their Kazandu Stomper. And then send Adventurer Baloth. So what are their blocks here? I mean, I'm sending anyway. They do have a good block in that they can go Root Grazer, Grakmaw on the Adventurer. I can't kill both. So I guess I have to just attack with the Baloth, because the Adventurer really doesn't have a good attack and he's holding back their squad. Yeah, I guess it's just Baloth, and they're probably going to go Grakmaw, Root Grazer on the Baloth. Oh, or the Construct. Construct works too. I'm super happy to kill the Construct. I think that would be a pretty huge mistake too. Yeah, I think this is the better block by the opponent. Their Construct is super important because it holds back the Brushfire Elemental, and it can't be killed by targeted removal. All right, sure. Kill them both. Yep. Bap them. Alrighty. Grakmaw is pretty broken. Opponent's got 2 A-tier rares in their draft. We got none, but boy, we got heart. They have a Shepherd of Heroes. No, don't do that. I think here we actually just want to play our Geopede and pass back. I think we want to save our big landfall attack for next turn, and we're not under too much pressure, life total-wise. So we wait. We wait. Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. Bap. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too late. All right, Fissure Wizard getting in here. All right. start by scaling the heights. Where are we putting the +1/+1 counter is a big question here. I think we put it on the Brushfire Elemental. No, not on the Brushfire. Veteran Adventurer can't get to the place where it gets through the double block. I'm kind of stumbling here. This is a really these are the games of Magic that are great, where it's like intense combat math and like really dense creature-based decision making. These games are quite good. Not the ones where you draw no lands and die. So if I put... Yeah, there's no way for the Veteran Adventurer to get big enough to attack through this double block. So I think we just have to make the rest of our units scary enough that they can't double block it. So yeah, I think this goes to Brushfire Elemental. We draw the Roiling Regrowth. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, are we roiling? All right, let's roil. Double roil and bubble. Here we go. Do 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 do. Okay. Do 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 do. Goodbye to forest. You get 2 lands. What that? I also never knew that this is instant speed. Forgot about that bit. Checka 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 checka. Resolve all. Resolve the stack. And then we send everything. Go! Murder them! Wait. We do have to see if we're dead on the backswing. So they can go... So they can go... 3/3 on the 8/8. It dies. 4/4 on the 9/7. If they don't block, they go to 2 and then kill me on the backswing here. No, but they don't, because I can block with the Florahedron. Yeah, we just send. We just send everything. They have to block the Geopedon Elemental. So the Adventurer is getting through, assuming they have nothing in hand. If they have something in hand that makes us dead on the backswing, I'll be quite sad. This block implies they do have something. Show me your secrets. Tell me your questions. You don't know how lovely you are. All right, opponent, let's see it. Let's see it. Roiling Regrowth of their own. Deal? Tell me more. Tell me more. What is behind door number 2, opponent? This is door number 1. Door number 1 doesn't save you. What about door number 2 up here? You got 3 mana. You've got a green, a black, and a white. You could cast Subtle Strike. You could cast nothing. I mean, that's fine too. Oh, I do like you casting nothing and double chump blocking. Oh, and I like the surrender too. Good touch. Good touch. It was a good plan by the opponent. Sorry, buddy. You made a couple mistakes and now you gotta go home. But we're moving on to the match for the money. So we've now recouped some of the draft ticket, but now if we win our next match, we profit. So, one more for all the money. Yeah, riddle me this, Ejecti. In Mythgard, can I gamble real money on my in-game play? I guess you guys do run tournaments, so technically yes. Although, are there entry fees? Do you have entry fees? Because in Magic, I get to gamble all day. They love to take my money for entry fees. Ah, I see. Just cold, hard cash. I saw on the Mythgard news page that there's something about a $1,000 tournament, or sorry, a tournament with $1,000 in prize pool. Has that happened already? Did I miss my big break? This hand is very poor. I think we actually have to ship this. Oh, it's this weekend? Yeah. How quickly could I get back in form? Not just come back, win it all. Can I quit again if I win? Just walk back off into the sunset? Like, never shall you hear. I came, I saw, I made profit. This hand is also really bad, but we're not going lower than this many cards. All right. Love a land that screams when it comes down. Okay, this hand is a little slow. Not gonna lie. We'll not show them our second color just yet. The day the R pieces. It hurt me, Ejecti. It broke my soul. Oh my goodness. When I won like 3 games, right? Oh my gosh. I won 3 games. I won like, 11 RP a game. Then I lost 1 game to someone who was, like several ranks lower. I don't even remember what the ranks are called anymore. And I lost like 45! And I just snapped like something in me. Something in me gave out with a mighty roar. Here, I guess we're scaling the heights. It's really mediocre. It's so mediocre. Man, this place sucks. But we can't play the Baloth yet. I guess we're just doing the thing that sucks. Yeah. Swallow. Like, the alternative is holding up Broken Wings and praying that on their turn they give us something we can cast it on. But I don't think that doesn't sound terribly likely to me. So we'll take our 2 life, put a land into play, but it's whatever. This Marasa Brute gonna give it to us. Brute gonna give it to you. Ow! It hurts. Alrighty. We can Royal, but we don't have much else. So we can play our Baloth here. The disaster is if they have a removal spell, we are now under copious amounts of pressure, but we don't really have an alternative. Like, the alternative... What else could we do? We could... There's literally nothing else we can do. Okay. Nothing else we could do that isn't terrible, that isn't actively bad. So we will try not to do that. Yeah, I was sad too, Ejecti. I felt like Mythgard was such a wonderful game, and I really did love a lot of aspects of it. I think it was just Rhino's reluctance to fix the things that were incredibly frustrating to, their biggest fans. Like, I spent so much money on Mythgard. I basically foiled the entire, every mythic in the original set. Because I loved Rhino, and I thought they were doing a good job. But then just for 2 months, they did nothing! They just let the metagame rot. Ejecti, they made me lose so many times to Reanimator. Do you have any idea how many times I lost to this stupid Junkyard Valhalla plus sidecar nonsense? Come on. Come on, have a heart, Rhino. Have a heart. We are once again up a creek without a real play. We get to play Scythecat, but that's pretty awful. That is pretty heinous. Yeah, with BG Necro was so gross to play against. Like, people complained about, okay, yeah, we just take 7 here. Ow, ow. Blech. But yeah, people complained about decks like yellow-green control was like the boogeyman. But I never minded decks that you actually got to play a game against. It was the decks that were like, go fish, flop your hand on the table, see what happens. Those I never was a huge fan of. Like, if I want that, Ejecti, I just play Magic. That's like Magic all day, every day, is just flopping your hand on the table, see what happens. Shall I win? Shall I lose? Let the dice decide. Oh, just a removal pile. I love removal piles. Yeah. The other sad thing is whenever I'm away from Magic, I really do miss instant speed interaction. The stack is just so delicious. I love me some stacks. Here we're probably biting the beetle, I suspect. Or are we biting the Zendikar? No, we can grow big enough. We can't grow big enough to block the Zendikar. So I suppose what we're doing is roiling the regrowth, which also sets us up nicely for next turn. So we'll roil, and then rapidly bite their Zendikar and pray we're not dead here. Too old to watch some Timmy decide if he's going to counter your shit or not. Yeah, that's fair. All right, opponent, show me the removal. Give it to me. Come on. Do it. Just do it. Put that Scythecat in the grave where it belongs. Oh, wait a minute. That's not a removal spell. Bum, 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 bum. Alrighty. If opponent thinks they're gonna put it on here, attack with these two, and then I'm gonna block this one, opponent's a fool. I'm going to 1. Like, there's no universe I don't go to 1. Opponent. Okay, fine. I thought they were gonna be cheeky here and send Hornbeetle and the Marasa Brute, but no. They had a little more respect than all that. Here we just play Pyroclastic Hellion, but we're likely still dead. The Hellion's pretty thick, but it's probably not enough to matter. Take back the Song Mad Ruins. Like, we're so far behind. So very far behind. I guess we play the Hedron here. Yeah, Counter Magic is an interesting one. Counter Magic is my favorite thing in Magic. Like, I'm a blue player through and through. I've got my double Masters Alt Art Force of Will up on my shelf. It's like my favorite card ever printed in any card game is Force of Will. But I do agree that it can be very frustrating at times. And when Esper control, the old 3 open and pass. Your go. Island pass. No one wants to play against us people? Yeah, it's true. It's true. I've made the mistake of introducing Magic to many people, and, I'm like, oh, which color do you want to play? And they're always like, oh, I want the red or the black. And I'm like, cool, I'll play my blue deck. And then they never want to play again. Like, they get 1 game of that. What's about to happen to me? Am I getting Zoff corruptioned or whatever it's called? No. Opponent, why this attack? Why are you the person you are? What did this beetle ever do to you? Why did you have to just throw it away? Why you gotta be so cruel? Don't you know he's a beetle too? All right. Now the question is, do we attack? Opponent doesn't have anything, or they would have played it. So I imagine they're holding 2 lands, or holding a land and a super circumstantial spell. Like, we're holding the Broken Wings, which is a card that's basically dead here. Do we attack? I think we do. I think we have to show no fear here and just say, hey, I'm gonna get you, opponent. The Gnarlid Colony will seize the day. Oh dear, Vastwood Surge. Oh no, they got us. Fair play. We had to start attacking eventually, but that's a gosh darn shame. Well, we lost to the opponent curving out on the play and killing us when we had a pretty weak hand, but so it goes. Hopefully this time we will draw a little stronger on the play ourselves. We're gonna have to win a game 3 on the draw, which would be pretty tough. Opponent's packing just the right amount of removal. I mean, they are presumably 2-0 as well, so they are competent. This hand is fine, actually, I think. Yeah, open on Valakut. Play the Fissure Wizard. See what happens. Hopefully draw a 3rd land. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if we drew a 3rd land? So we don't screw around all day. All right, I think the Stomper, we're really far off from playing a 6-mana card, so we're just going to ditch the Stomper. Oh, no. Oh, no. Moments before the disaster. Oh, no. Avert your eyes, Ejecti. Avert your... Okay, we drew the land. It's fine. Opponent does have a super broken rare, though. Skyclave Shade is amazing. Thankfully, we're an aggressive deck. This card is almost unbeatable if you're a defensive deck because it comes back every time you play a land. But we are an offensive deck, and it cannot block. So, sorry, mate. I guess we're just going... Yeah, I guess it's just Electromancer. We'll attack first, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's just Electromancer. Zippity zap. Zippity zappity zap. All right. So opponent's Skyclave Shade basically didn't add to the board, as I suspect our clock is faster than theirs. We don't have a good follow-up, though, to the Electromancer. Next turn, like, playing a Might of Marasa or Gnarlid Colony next turn doesn't feel great. We take the smackdown. But yeah, Ejecti, in terms of counter magic, I feel like in every other card game, people say control deck, right? They're like, yeah, that's a yellow-green control deck. But I feel like without counter magic, they don't really feel like a control deck to me, because control is in Magic knowing there's nothing that can go wrong. Like, you're sitting there, you've got a removal spell in hand, you've got a sweeper, you've got a counter spell, and you just feel on top of the world. Like, you have this impenetrable instant speed defense, which no other game does counter Magic, so I assume that's not something most people enjoy. but I like that sensation. Alrighty, here we're just attacking into their Blight Priest. The interesting question is, do we Might of Marasa to power through it? And I think the answer is yes. And then develop the Hellhound onto the board. All right, opponent does that. We'll just throw out the Might of Marasa here so that we attack over their creature and stay alive. And then we have a Hellhound. And maybe we'll draw a land. Maybe we won't. Anything could happen, including nothing. There's a whole world of possibilities, and most of them aren't interesting on our next draw. Stay tuned. Gruul is a nice departure from playing decks that require, you know, nuance and subtlety. The smashing has begun. So here we get to choose between cleansing Wildfire and potentially hitting a land so we get to develop the Bugcatcher, or just developing the Bugcatcher. Both plays have merit. The Bugcatcher does mean if we draw a land next turn, we get to play the Veteran Adventurer, which is pretty tempting. I think that hedges it in. I think without the Veteran Adventurer, it's better to Wildfire and pray we hit the land. But if we Bugcatcher this turn, the next turn we draw a land, we play that Adventurer. Yeah, I like that better. So we'll send. Send the squad. And then we'll develop our Buggy Boy. And we'll pray we don't die to this Scythe Cat. It's getting there. It's certainly getting there. All right, opponent's got 5 mana to stop us. What can they possibly do? Scale the heights, all right. Gaining 2 life is pretty frightening. Are they attacking is the question. Wow, they attack with both. Deal. Let's see it. Marasa Brute coming down as their blocker. Okay, so we can kill the Brute, but then we're screwed. Man, not hitting our 4th land really sucked this game, right? It was super painful. So we can eat the Brute. So let's say we eat the Brute, attack with the Bugcatcher. The Scythe Cat is big enough that we're in a lot of trouble, right? Man, not hitting our land was so savage. Perhaps we have to Wildfire and pray we draw the land. Doing so doesn't really change much, though, in all honesty. Yeah, I think this may be the end of the line. End of the line. Yeah, basically, we get to eat their Brute here and then attack with these 2. And then we have to double chump block. Opponent goes to 8. Yeah, I suspect our run has come to an end. If I do this, I'm still dead. So, man, this situation really sucks. I guess we have to just keep back all. So we can trade everything for the Scythe Cat. That does not feel like a winning play. Yeah, I guess we're just sending the Buggy Boy. But in all likelihood, end of the line. Opponent's deck seems quite good, though. Honestly, though, I think our deck is better. We just we didn't draw our payoffs right. We never drew either of our good uncommons. We didn't draw into our payoffs these two games. Just very, very awkward, stilted draws. The hands weren't bad, but we didn't quite get there. Well, I guess we're doing this. Might of Marasa? Deadly Alliance? Nah, same difference. GG. GG, opponent. Job well done. And just like that, we were deceased. Alrighty. Well, we didn't win the big money, but we won enough money. We paid for our draft in 66% of our draft, which is good enough. Ding! And we get our packs and gems and whatnot, so we get to open all this trash. Oh no, we didn't hit 10 packs though, so we would have to manually open them, which ain't nobody got time to manually open the packs. I think I'll draft another deck because drafting is the fun part. However, I don't think I will play out the draft because it's getting a little bit late. I have other business to attend to. So, wow. Let's hit a table. Let's draft. Draft a stupendous deck. La da 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 da. Lean back in our chair and make the magic happen. La da 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 da. Message some people on Discord in the meantime. Bum. Or actually, wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna cut the VOD for Twitch purposes. Or sorry, not for Twitch purposes, for YouTube purposes.